Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Nama of the DC camp, back for what I hope to be a quick video. But first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Dash. And of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. All right. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth, trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect. All right, this video is from a site I visit from time to time. It's called The Amazing Lucas. He gives some, or has some rather, special insight. Being former Republican, and I like to, at times hear his take on things. And this one in particular, oh boy, we at times like to say, "I told you so." We've been telling or trying to tell our people, it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. They both hate our fucking guts. All right. The very sight of us, all right, is often an insult to them. You got to remember, we are a constant reminder of how they fucked up, and it's a problem that, or I should say, a problem that they wish that would go away. They cannot deport us like, they do others, so they take other measures. All right, but here we have some Jake women, Southern Kingdom, wow, that for some reason, all right, thought they could go run and, up amongst these, of all people, these MAGA types, all right, Trump supporters. I guess they, where have you been for the last, 6 years or so? All right. This guy, Trump, despite what he's going through with, he never said one thing. But I'm going to go ahead and roll the video. I'm not going to talk too much, but it's, hey, once again, it's it's nice to see things. I personally, I love seeing this. People get their fucking wake-up call. All right, here we go.
Dear Black Republicans, they don't like you. Oh my goodness. So let me just say, I know my way around a Republican plantation, okay?
So you have to consider also all these people like Candace Owens, all these others. You have to understand or try to looking at point of view from the enemy. All right, Candace Owens gets up there, she talks. Sometimes she's absolutely right. Gotta say that. But usually, like these two a-holes that shuck and jive, making fun of their own people, the lynchings and stuff like that. That went way too far. And I'm talking about those Hodge twins. What is it? What did they go through? What other name did they go through by? Conservative twins or some shit like that. I mean, they're just, I guess, the new or the male version of Diamond and Silk. Well, one of them died, so. But it's like, damn, how could you do that? But they will tell you that, and I'm talking about these, these Edomites, these so-called conservatives. Hey, we'll use people like that. We can never trust them, but we will use you. And this person here is going to get a big dose of that.
Hey, I've been on the Republican plantation. All right, if y'all know where the bathroom, wanted to know where the bathroom was, I'll be able to tell you. Straight down the hall, make a right to the left, little bell right there. So you can, you got it. When I say that these people hate us, when I say that they despise Black Americans, I genuinely mean that. And I'm not talking about like, hey, you don't like this type of cereal or you prefer Cinnamon Toast Crunch over Honey Nut Cheerios. No, I'm talking about disgust. I'm talking about a certain envy that permeates many of these organizations, their events, where at the moment in time where you actually are an independent thinker and you know history. Now listen to me, not the whitewashed, watered down history that they try to feed you, but you know actual history. They will flip on you, okay?
You people out there that mock us and both cuss and curse at us, do you understand, if you're seeing this, why history is so important? It's not enough to say, well, I hate the white man because of what he did. What are you talking about? Be able to bring up times and dates if that's at all possible. Don't just throw that out there, just this blanket statement. Oh, the white man, he evil, he dirty. Look what he does. He did, and you can't, you know. The thing is, learn simply to say what you mean and mean what you say, and especially when it comes to history, point certain things out. All right, this is what you. That's why I carry that little book. I always carry it in my pack. How white folks got so rich. Boom, point blank. Boom, doom, doom. Here, page, paragraph, whatever. All right, and like he says, there's one thing to say. You know, we hear Jake say, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," you know. It's always white man. You get there, you know, like roll their eyes and like, nigger don't know what he's talking about. But then to be able to go in there and articulate and say, hey, boom, such and such a date, boom, boom. Oh, now, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. See, they don't want that. They can't deal with that. And that's what we're doing here. All right. We're going to buy something that they use to warp our minds, and that's our own book. No, we're correcting this, and this is what we're doing specifically. Let's go to, that's why knowing these scriptures, all right, like Teddy Roosevelt said, understanding of these scriptures is better than a college education. I'm paraphrasing. All right, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. And it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, all right, but mighty in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai for pulling down strongholds, all right? Let's see. Now, what are some of those strongholds? It says, casting down arguments, and every high thing or imaginations, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right. All these lies that were told, all right, about us, about our situation, all right, that what, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps bullshit, when they've done everything to sabotage us. It's not only just slavery. They like to bring that up and gaslight, all right? And that's a very important term to learn when it comes to how we're dealt with. Let's see if I can, let's see. There's gaslighting, and then there's racial gaslighting. Let's see if I can, let's see, all right. Let's see. Just so you know, I don't want to use these. Dang it. All right, let's see. What is gaslighting? Signs and how to respond. Let's go to psychology today. Gaslighting is an insidious form of manipulation and psychological control, victims of gaslighting are deliberately and systematically fed false information. Doesn't that sound like what's being done to us? All right, yes. That leads them to question what they know to be true, often about themselves. They may end up doubting their memory, their perception, and even their sanity. We have a lot of our people, as a result of these tactics, this is psychological warfare. All right, once again, it's not just chattel slavery that we're talking about here. We're talking about the whole thing. All right, because what they did afterwards, like I said, they sabotaged everything we tried to do to, what's that quote? Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. They couldn't have that. And history proves it. You got all these movements, all these amendments, 13, 14, 15, that were designed specifically for us. All right. And you have to understand and research those things that happened just before the 13th Amendment was finalized. All right. There's the Crittenden bill, and there's the Cormier. What the hell? Let me see if I can find that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Joe Madison passed away. Let's see. Do I have that? Whitefish. Here it is. The Corwin Amendment, enslavement and Abraham. I put it in one of my last videos, but you have to understand and research all of this because it plays an important. They were going to make this an amendment to the Constitution. Slavery was going to be a thing that was going to be in law, part of the Constitution. So you got to ask yourself, well, what happened between, and this is, I want to get the dates here, 1861. Corwin Amendment was a proposed amendment to the Constitution passed by Congress and sent to the states for ratification in 1861. All right, the amendment was conceived by outgoing President James Buchanan as a way to prevent the Civil War. You gotta understand, this is what they were concerned about, not us. All right, we were merely like a bargaining chip. All right, here it goes. Had it been ratified, the Corwin Amendment would have prohibited the federal government from abolishing enslaved in the states where it existed at the time. So they were going to come up with something that said, for all of you that believe that bullshit about Lincoln freed the slaves because he was so righteous. No, he was not. He didn't give a fuck about us. All right, but they sell you that bullshit again. Gaslighting. All right, all this bullshit ass history that was told us just lies. All right, it says, while not technically endorsing the Corwin Amendment, Abraham Lincoln did not oppose it. Again, prematurely labeled as the 13th Amendment, the Corwin Amendment was one of 3 attempts to resolve the secession crisis. This is all they were concerned with. Lincoln said that in one of his speeches. All right, he said if he could do anything, and of course I'm paraphrasing, but free us. Also, the Crittenden Plan, I said amendment, and the Washington Peace Convention had been rejected by Republicans who felt it yielded too much to the enslavement interest and snubbed the central plank of the Republican platform, which opposed the extension of enslavement. All right, so you can read. I'll put that in the link. All right, because this whole thing, like the scriptures talk about, us as a people being that burdensome stone to our enemies. All right, and we are, and you're seeing this play out as you're going to hear when she gets her wake-up call. All right, and then to show you how not on code our people are, she's going to end up defending the motherfucker that brought them into the let's just go ahead and roll this, man. Our people. Woo!
Whitewash, watered down history that they try to feed you, but you know actual history, they will flip on you, okay? Will flip. And it's really a peculiar thing to see, because you could be talking about one thing.
Shameful spewing on thy glory. Habakkuk 2:16.
And then once you correct them on whether it was reparations, whether it's slavery, they will just like that, and they will see you as an enemy. Because what they want many black Americans to be is ignorant of the history of this country. And what they do, they find pride and they take refuge in your ignorance, and they attempt to weaponize it for their political gain. That is not to say that there are a few, good white Republicans or whatnot, but here's the thing. It's the same thing when it comes to the police, okay? You can't have 3 good apples on a team of 400 bad apples, because now those 3 good apples are powerless. When it comes to Republicans, white Republican Party, you can't have 3 good Republicans who are like, hey, black Americans are descendants of slaves, they deserve reparations, if their voices are being drowned out by the vast majority of people who are anti-black racists. You just can't have that. It's not going to be impactful. So when I talk about the racist right, when I talk about racist white Republicans, I'm talking about the vast majority. I'm not talking about the 3 or 4 who are like, hey, I'm fighting with y'all. I'm John Brown of modern time. I'm not talking about them, because they have no influence of the party. They have no clout of the party. And you have to think about that. I say that to say this when it comes to these 2 black Republican women, or, MAGA women or whatever. And it's really painful, the discourse that happens, because you have these 2 black women who come into this space and they think that, hey, we're all friends, we're all buddy-buddy, hey, we all support Trump, we're all MAGA people, we're all conservatives, Republicans. And she comes into this space, and the white guy is like, who is we?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're just introducing ourselves. The MAGA people got to stick together. It's one country, one flag. So that's
No. Don't talk about MAGA people, but
the American people. The American people. But
hold on.
I kid you not, the white dude is like, who is we? Like, there is no we. And what happened was that apparently these 2 black women, or these 2 black women, were brought in by another white guy, another MAGA white guy. And the host of the space told the white guy, like, hey, don't bring these people in my space. Bro, I kid you not. I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
Hashtag
Black Chicago for Trump. That's what it says. Hashtag Black Chicago.
So who's Tropic? Do you know Tropic? Yeah.
I'm new to this whole Twitter thing.
What brought you into space?
I told you, I saw my friend was in here, and it showed up at the top of my screen.
So who's your friend?
Miss Trevian.
Who's your friend?
Miss Trevian.
Okay, so Miss Trevian, what brought her in here?
You gotta ask her.
You?
Mr. Tropic sent me a DM and said that he was going to be in a space.
Mr. Tropic, I say next time, don't ever fucking bring these people in here.
Oh.
I don't want to talk to them.
Jeez. Radio show. I don't have to be in here with you.
He said, hey, don't bring these people in my space. And the white guy's like, oh, well, come on now. He's like, don't bring these people in my space. As simple as that. And the 2 black women, they got the reality check. Because, one of them is talking about, well, I got a national radio show. I don't need to be on here. I don't need to be on here. Bruh, I kid you not. I looked up her name, and the next thing you know, her Twitter account, gone. She had changed her name. Now imagine, instead of changing your political views, you go and change your name and still hold the same ignorant views that you do, right? You got so embarrassed that you had to change your Twitter handle, boo. You had to change your Twitter handle. And she's still talking about, hey, Chicagoans for Trump, Chicagoans for Trump. Okay, I've been greatly matured politically, all right? Especially where I started from where I am now, I'm a new man. Listen, I haven't heard anything that Trump has said to the black Americans. I haven't heard anything. So when you hear many of these black people talking about, oh, I'm voting for Trump, I'm voting for Trump, what has Trump offered you? Nothing. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard any of him talking about any platinum plan. I haven't heard him even address the black community. And the reason why is because he has to placate to his audience, the Republican Party. The Republican Party is comprised of mainly racist white people. Unfortunately, that's what it is. When you're telling white people in this country that, hey, they're under attack, okay? They're trying to replace you. Diversity, that's what they're doing. DEI, CRT, all of these things to try and garner fear from a very, low IQ base. I think that's disgusting. I think that's evil. But at the same time, if that's the people that you're trying to get the vote from, well, you have to tell them what they want to hear. You have to tell them, hey, they're under attack. It's okay to be white, All lives matter. White lives matter. You have to tell them these things. And if you're telling them these things, well, then that's going to contradict and contrast with anything that would benefit black Americans, unfortunately. Unfortunately, okay? So you have to look at this from a strategical perspective. And what makes this even worse is that one of the black women, and I don't know where she's from, she can't be FBA, because when it comes to Sambos within this country who are FBA, I would like to believe, pray, that there are few and far between due to knowing what we have gone through as a people, our relationship with this country. And she goes and defends the white guy who brought her in and didn't defend them while they were in the space. I want you to think about that. The white dude who brought them in the space, when someone else says, hey, I try to warn y'all about going around those folks. And what he's referring to, what this Twitter person is referring to, is, the racists, the MAGA people. Not all of them, but the racist Republicans. And the white guy who brought these two black women into this space talks about, hey, that's ignorant. That's actually racist, okay? Now, upon him saying that, guess who?
See how they still stay on code with each other? Wow.
Defends him. The black woman who was just told to get out of the space. The black woman would say, hey, don't bring them in here, referring to her. She then goes and defends this white guy and says, hey, they say that there isn't reverse racism, lol. And it just goes to show that, hey, not everyone can be saved. Not everyone wants to get off the plantation. Some of these people, some of these women and men are mentally broken. They're mentally broken because they have...
Again, don't know if he's ear hustling when it comes to us. Like Geno Jennings, can't say for certain. But what have we been trying to tell you? You don't want to deal with us? Okay. As this person here, these women, all right, like I said, they were forced to see the truth. You're trying to seek help from people, like he said, that hate us, can't stand the sight of us. In fact, that's scripture too. Let's get that. Whoops. All right. Let's go to back in the Old Testament. Lamentations 4:17. And still our eyes failed us, watching vainly for our help. I hate when they change this up. In our watching, we watched for a nation, the wording, all right? A nation that could not save us, nor will they. Because it's not to their advantage to do so. All right, NLT, we looked in vain for our allies to come and save us, but we were looking to nations that could not help us. And unfortunately, with our people, that's a history, a lot of people just, for some reason, they don't want to know that. They just have been told, all right, they go to these other philosophies and doctrines, and that's been a problem with our people throughout history also. These other cisterns, as it tells you in Jeremiah's 2nd chapter, all right? This also verse is reminiscent of, or links to, Isaiah 30 and 31, all right? The history there in those two, seeking help from our enemies, Egypt, Syria, wherever, and getting our feelings hurt at the end of the day because these people hate us, all right? Let's go back to this.
Some of these people, some of these women and men are mentally broken. They're mentally broken because they have succumbed to this
Another example is because we're studying Nehemiah now, all right? We were trying to build all those who were in opposition, all because we wouldn't let them build with us, because this is exclusively for us. This is not inclusive like what they teach you in plantation Christianity. All right. You notice the reverse holds true because nobody else wants us around them. But unfortunately, like he says here, we have a lot of our people that just happen to be, I wonder why, when I say this, in certain positions, because they're selected, because they have this mentality where they are actually fucked up to the point where they can't see what we're trying to say. When he's him too here, all right, you can't see that we are the enemy. All right, you're through. You're gone. All these scriptures that point to that. Ultimately it's Zechariah 13 and 8 because these people got to go, and they are going. All right. They've been compromised in so many ways.
Because they program them to be desiring the praise of the white Republican or of the white man or of the white woman. That's what they have conditioned them to do. And they're nothing more than seals. And it's so disgusting to see this because it's heartbreaking. And it's like, you don't have to, debase yourself. You don't have to debase yourself in order to feel wanted, in order to feel loved, in order to feel empowered. Instead of trying to...
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go to them because they've changed the... they got that new KJV wording there. So let's go to dang it, I lost my train of thought here. Let's see. Well, yeah, that's a good one. If it, thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Here's another one. Slakia, just happened upon it. This is Jeremiah 3 and 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly, in the Most High Yahweh, our power, and this is the problem, all right? And we're trying to tell you this. This is that's the spirit, all right? Is the salvation of Israel, which we are. This is exclusively for us, no one else. The Most High Yahweh is the God of Israel, is the power of Israel only. All right? Like, wow. You can't, let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how. Let's see. Let's see. Oh boy, I hate when this happens. Let's see. Hold on. Let me go to the book here. Hold on. Let's see. Salaki, bear with me just one moment while I get my bearings here. Oh boy. But these things, and it's going to be more of this, because again, our people refuse to see what's right in front of them, and that's this man's hatred towards us. All right. Because he hit the nail on the head. Why are you here it is. All right. I went all around it for some reason. I just couldn't. There it is. It says, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? And this is a problem with our people. Why? I'm going to get that as soon as I read this. Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. And it's a big problem with our people. Why? Because it comes down to this. All right. Keep this in mind. This is the Corwin Amendment. All right. Let's get something else here. We also have colonial. And I'm going to keep using this because we're talking more than the one we usually use, which is Stockholm Syndrome. This goes deeper. This is colonial mentality or mindset. All right. It says, is the internalized attitude of ethnic or cultural inferiority felt by people as a result of colonization. For example, them being colonized by another group. It corresponds with the belief that the cultural values of the colonizer are inherently superior to one's own. The term has been used by post-colonial scholars to discuss, and here's the important word, the transgenerational effects of colonialism present in former colonies following decolonization. Transgenerational. Simply put, transgenerational trauma is the psychological and physiological effects that the trauma experienced by people has on subsequent generations in that group. The primary modes of transmission are the uterine environment during pregnancy, causing epigenetic changes in the developing embryo. Epigenetic is a study of heritable traits or a stable change of cell function that happen without changes to the DNA sequence. So they know this shit, man. It's not just, well, you need to learn just to get over it. No, don't work that way. And they want to keep us in this state, all right, transgenerational. The term intergenerational transmission, all right, I'm down here, right here. The term intergenerational transmission refers to instances whereby the traumatic effects are passed down from the directly traumatized generation to their offspring. Duh. All right, continuing on. It says it is commonly used, talking about colonial mentality. It's commonly used as an operational concept for framing ideological domination in historical colonial experiences. In psychology, colonial mentality has been used to explain instances of collective depression, anxiety, and other widespread mental health issues in populations that have experienced colonization. So this is not an excuse. All right. Again, gaslighting plays a part in this. All right. A huge part. Because they'll use these little mind tricks. Well, let's get gaslighting. In fact, to be more specific, racial gaslighting. The term gaslighting, all right, might as well, as you might already know, refers to a particular type of emotional abuse where someone is made to question the validity of their experiences, feelings, and beliefs, or history. That's the experiences as a people. When this form of manipulation is used specifically to undermine or minimize someone's experiences of racism, it's called racial gaslighting. All right, so let's get some examples. The spectrum of racial gaslighting can range from direct statements like, not everything has to be about race. All right, or, are you sure that's what really happened? And you start to question, well, no, that's done on purpose. All right. For example, they might say something like, yes, slavery happened, but that's in the past. Or we shouldn't focus on just the faults of problematic historical figures, so forth and so on. But as he was saying in the video, these are things they don't want you to know, because when you know that history and you can point it out, oh, now we got a problem. Whereas if you would just, all right, you can hang around. All right, so hopefully now you get that. So let's finish this out.
Yourself in order to feel wanted, in order to feel loved, in order to feel empowered, instead of trying to cower and kowtow to a bunch of racists. Why not make something of yourself? Why not build with your group? Why not use what you have been, employing with them and use it with your group so you don't have to succumb to such, belittling measures? But unfortunately, that's the politics
thing with us, and we try to explain this with scripture, of course, but these curses that we're under. This is a curse. These are curses, plural. All right? That were put on us. You're not going to go to the enemy schools and educate yourself in his bullshit and think you're going to pull yourself up out of it. No, it doesn't work like that. All right, then there's a spiritual aspect of this that our people don't or are unwilling to address. All right? Again, because of the machinations of our enemy here, we're putting these pieces of shit up in these churches and these pulpits that are purposely leading you astray, that are turning you off. All right? What you actually need to know and what's actually beneficial to us. Again, all these tactics and strategies of the enemy, it's plain for us to see. We're trying to, all right, pass this on to our people, but, and again, that's prophecy. All right, Ezekiel 3rd chapter, we're doing what we were called to do. We're telling you these things. We're giving you scriptures. That's, the blood is off our hands. It's all we can do. All right. We attempt to plant those seeds. All right. And after that, it's up to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to give the increase. All right.
In this country, that's the politics of America right now, where you have a whole bunch of racist white people who feel that, hey, I'm being attacked. They're trying to replace me. Hey, DEI, CRT, hey, immigration, all these other things. And they constantly will use black people as a pawn, as a tool for their political agenda. And then when you ask them, hey, what about my political agenda? Well, they simply erase you. What do they say? What do you mean your political agenda? We're all Americans. But what they mean by Americans is they mean white America. When they say America has a problem, they mean white America. And that's a hypocrisy that led me to say deuces. Like, I'm not listening to your problems all day. When we as a collective have problems, but when I say, hey, black Americans, we need this is happening, you dismiss it. You just call us lazy and say, get over it.
Yep.
But when y'all have problems, it's a pandemic, okay? It's an issue. We all have to address this. And that right there makes up, it's emblematic of the Republican Party. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, Lucas, you have to understand, they're the real racists, okay? They did the KKK, all right? They did the Biden crime bill. You have to understand, they're the real racists. Or if you have to believe, listen, it's like Malcolm X said, the wolf and the fox. That's really what it is. All I'm saying is strategic.
What we're trying to tell you, these are our enemies. Never trust your enemies. No matter if they're the wolf and the fox, they're both your enemy. No matter if they're a Democrat or Republican. Two wings, same foul, wicked ass bird. Fuck them. And with that, once again, I would encourage you, all right, to continually pray, especially with the times that we're coming into, because all this is pointing to this man getting ready to pull out some foul shit in order to, again, what he just said, they're the victims now. All right. And when they look at us, good damn niggers, we can't get rid of them, Hey, so hard times are coming in the not too distant future here. All right. So with that, hey, shalom.